Today I'm going to quickly show you 50 easy beginner parkour skills as we take a walk through Tokyo. This video is for you if you are new to parkour, and afterwards you should have a good idea of what beginner skills you could start with. This is basically an overview to give you some specific examples of the types of movements there are in parkour and specific movements you can try.
The wall I just found is perfect for learning wall runs because you can work your way up.
I try to keep these moves low impact and low risk. I think it's a good idea to start with low impact moves because you want to give your body some time to adapt to the jumps in parkour before taking on any bigger drops or higher impact moves like the Kong, even though it's still considered a basic skill. I also wanted to show how many different ways there are to enjoy parkour even if you don't want to take any impact. And by low risk, I mean that these moves can all be attempted outside without a big risk of injury. They are relatively safe to learn without a gym. Of course, please use common sense. Parkour is potentially dangerous and you could hurt yourself or worse if you're reckless or not focused.
Having a rail like this is really great if you're a beginner. The only downside with this spot is that there's a bit of traffic, but otherwise, this is wonderful. We can do a lot with this.
The skills in this video are in no particular order because at this stage of your training, difficulty is extremely relative. Something hard to you might be easy for somebody else. So when choosing one of these moves to learn, I think it's a good idea to just start with the low-hanging fruit. Which move looks the easiest or least scary to you, and then go with that. In my experience, the moves that seem challenging now will feel a lot more achievable once you've collected the low-hanging fruits. And yes, some skills might feel scary. Learning to overcome your fear in a healthy way is a big part of parkour. Just please take it slow, but definitely push yourself when it feels safe. You might also notice that I kept the spots in this video pretty basic. I wanted it for you to feel likely that you could find something similar in your neighborhood. And if there are really certain types of moves you can't train because you don't have the spot for it, don't worry. There's so many different kinds of movements in parkour that it's fine to just leave some out. By the way, if you're watching this and you want to start learning right now, I do have a beginner course that takes you from zero and teaches you all the fundamental movement types in parkour. And I teach you everything step by step. If you want to get a taste of what that's like, click the link in the description to get my free parkour roadmap. It's a quick video that gives you an overview, sort of a quick start guide that I wish I would have had when I started parkour many moons ago. When it comes to learning parkour, I think the first step is to fall in love. When you start parkour, I want things to be fun for you. Did you ever have a feeling where you visit a new country and everything just looks interesting and different and exciting? Everything just feels so new and fresh. With parkour, you can have exactly that feeling in your hometown. And I think that's pretty special. Don't worry about doing everything perfect in the beginning or looking at which skills you have to learn first because you want to learn skill X, Y, and Z later on in the future. Just see if you like parkour in the beginning. Go out, give it a go, and try it out.
That one's a bit big for beginners, but it's the only one I can find.
And once you've decided you like it, that's when things get a little bit more serious, and that's also when you got to put in some work to get the most out of it. And that's why, for example, this video doesn't show a parkour roll or a muscle up. I think those are great things to work on once you decided you like parkour and you like to get a little bit more serious about it. But hey, I'm not your boss, that's just how I like to do it. Parkour is really an art form where everything can happen, but nothing has to happen. I don't want you to be too obsessive and too much of a perfectionist in the beginning. What I think is much more important is to pay attention to how your body feels with different types of moves and different types of landing. You will develop a feeling for movement that's healthy and natural to your body. By the way, if you feel uneasy or awkward doing parkour out in public and especially in front of strangers, that's normal. What usually helps is going with a friend or just going to an area with low foot traffic. And remember, it's okay to suck at something. Being bad at something, no matter how painful it is the first step to being kind of good at something. You also don't need a logical reason for wanting to learn parkour. Yes, it is a great way to get fit and have fun at the same time. It's a way to find a community or even develop some character. For some, parkour is even an act of rebellion. But I like to think that this looks fun and I want to try it out is good enough of a reason to get into pretty much anything. If anything, parkour is an opportunity for you, an opportunity to have a space in your life with no outside pressure, no tests and no rules. There's enough of that already, especially if you're a teenager growing up.
Did I get you?
How awesome is it to have a space where you make the rules and there's no pressure. You can just explore and follow your intuition and curiosity. If this overview got you excited to finally start parkour, I think you should click the link in the description to get my free roadmap and then watch my in-depth beginner guide here on YouTube next. See you next time and keep moving.